Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome to our latest playthrough, which is going to be Eldritch Horror and Cities in Ruin. Yes, the new expansion. And we're going to do another play-by video, so I'm joined with some friends off Tube Tables, joined by Doug Herring. He's always up for a game, is Doug. And with Doug will be Stocia. And joining Stocia as well will be Lawrence. So we're going to play a four-handed game. As usual, if anybody dies or gets driven nuts, then we will have a reserve come on board. We've got a few reserves lined up. But this time we haven't actually picked any investigators for the reserves because we seem to get away with it. I'm hoping that by not doing that, that means we will have some deaths. But let's see how we go on. So what we're going to do is, obviously because it's a brand new expansion, we're going to visit that actual expansion. So we are going to use Shudmel, that's a him here, the Cataclysm from below. So we'll have a look at him later. Also, as part of that, we are going to do a prelude. Now, because it's Cities in Ruin, what we're going to do is we're going to use one of the Cities in Ruin preludes, of which there are 4. Here they all are. So what we'll do is we'll give them a quick shuffle and we'll see which one we get. They're all pretty horrible, to be honest. So there we go. Let's do that. Let's have a good shuffle around and let's see what we get. We'll pick this one third from the bottom. Apocalypse Nigh. That doesn't sound too good, does it? Anxiously, you study the walls of your apartment. Hundreds of newspaper clippings surround a heavily marked calendar, multicoloured threads connecting each article to a corresponding date. 22 years have passed since the last occurrence. 22 years and 9 months. This is going to be the big one, and you can feel it in your gut. The world is not prepared. After resolving setup, if Shudmel is not the Ancient One, well he is, place 1 Eldritch token on each of the spaces 2, 5, 11 and the Doom track, blah blah blah. If Shudmel is the Ancient One, place 1 Eldritch token on space 14 of the Doom track. I've got a few set up here. Because I had Shudmel anyway, I've already done a bit of the setup up there. We have got an extra one, so I'll put that on space 14. Then the lead investigator discards 1 gate on a space of his choice, or each investigator gains a talent condition. What we'll do is we'll wait to see what gate we get. Yep. During this game, if Shudmel is not the Ancient One, blah 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 blah, but he is the Ancient One, and we have got quite a few Eldritch tokens at various points along the Doom track, but we'll see that when we go through Shudmel. So Apocalypse Nigh is our prelude. Let's pop this up there, along with all the rest of the stuff that I need to keep an eye on. Okay, so what we've done for the time being is we've just put another Eldritch token on space 14. We can get rid of the other preludes, we're not going to use those. And what is next? Well, we were chatting about gates. So what we've got to do is whiz these around. So there we go, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously we have no gates for Antarctica or the pyramids or the Dreamlands. So let's just put these together in any old fashion and pop that on there. And we'll put them there as we normally do. Okay, so that is the gate sorted out. After the gates, we've got to do the clue pool. Well, we've done the clue pool. It's all in here. Now, there is a Rome clue in here. It doesn't say to take it out. You'll see more of that when I go through devastations in a bit, because Rome is actually devastated. Rome is still a named space, but it's no longer a city because it's been, like, I don't know, reduced to rubble. There is still a Rome clue in here. If it gets pulled out during the normal course of events, because Rome is devastated, we just discard it. But I've kept it in here. You don't take it out, so it's in there. But that's the clue pool. Obviously, no Antarctica clues in here, no Dreamlands clues, no Pyramids clues, none of that nonsense. So that's all set up. Then we've got the general token pool. That's all over there. You don't need to see that. You've seen that millions of times. Then we choose and place our investigators. We've done that already. It has been done randomly. I went through all of my Eldritch Horror playthroughs and ticked off everybody who I have used before, even in that Azathoth playthrough where I went through about 300. So we were left with the 4 brand new investigators, obviously, that came with Cities in Ruin, plus about, I think there was about 14 others. What I did is on tube tables, I used the geek roller and we picked out 3 choices for each individual. I had, I think it was Bob Jenkins. Who else did I have? I can't remember. I had Bob Jenkins and a couple of others. I picked Bob because he's brand new. So Bob is in London. He's my investigator. Then Doug. Doug picked a new investigator as well. He had, as one of his choices, Ashcan Pete. I think he had Daryl Simmons, the photographer, and Sister Mary as well. But he picked Ashcan Pete. And he is here in Scandinavia. And who else? Stosha, she picked Lily Chen. I think she could pick Lily Chen, and who else was there? Can't remember, but she picked Lily Chen. So she is in Shanghai with Lily Chen. And finally, Lawrence, he picked Vincent Lee. I think he could have picked Rita Young and Carolyn Fern, I think were his other options, but he decided to pick Vincent, who is on Space 17 in Bombay. So we'll go through those in greater detail later when we set up the characters, but those are the characters that have all been picked, and they have been picked randomly. Okay, having done that, we receive all the starting possessions and stuff, but I'll do that at the end. So, determine the ancient one. Well, we've already done that. We're going to have Shude Mel because it's Cities in Ruin, and we want to play the new ancient one. And here he is. He's a beast. So we've got 15 on the Doom track. You can see there's the Doom track marker. Cultists. Well, they've got 1 toughness. We don't need a sanity check against them, but we do have -1 on the combat check. We only need to inflict 1 damage to kill them, but there is a reckoning. We will have to kill cultists pretty sharpish, because the reckoning is roll 1 die. On a 1 or a 2, you advance Doom by 1. As you will see, advancing Doom by 1 is bad enough, but we have opportunities to get disasters along the way. We do not want to be advancing Doom if we can help it, so if we do get any cultists, we have got to kill them pretty sharpish. Set up. Set aside all Shude Mel special encounters. Done that. It's over here. Place 1 Eldritch token on spaces 2, 5, 8 and 11 of the Doom track. We have done that. And remember, with the prelude, we've also put 1 on space 14 as well. Rome is devastated. So here's Rome, and here is a devastation marker. Rome is no longer a city space. You cannot have city encounters there. You cannot have Rome encounters there. All you can have are devastation encounters. These are devastation encounters. They are not nice, as you might imagine. So we've got special cards. If we ever get cities devastated, then we have to use this deck. So that is what the devastation deck is. Okay, let's go back to Shude Mel. The Cataclysm from below. When Doom advances to a space containing an Eldritch token, so remember we've got 2, 5, 8, 11 and 14 with the prelude, draw and resolve a disaster. These are disaster cards. These are also not very nice. In fact, they are absolutely appalling. These are really, really bad. And I mean really bad. Even by Eldritch Horror standards, these are bad. So those are disaster cards. Then once we've resolved the disaster, we discard the Eldritch token. There is a very good chance we will lose Investigators, to be honest. Reserves may well come in. Some of those disasters, well, if you just... It's, as you can imagine, you know, we've already got Rome reduced to rubble. Anybody who's caught in any sort of devastation like that is in real trouble. When 3 mysteries have been solved, Investigators win the game, as usual. When Should Mel awakens, flip this sheet and resolve Should Mel awakens effect on the back. We'll do that should he awaken. He's got a reckoning. Each Investigator loses a total of 2 health and or sanity. So you can lose 1 of each. You can lose 2 sanity, you can lose 2 health. Again, not brilliant. Should Mel slumbers deep beneath the lost African city of Gahan. The ripples of his tumultuous dreams bring ruin to the world above. So already he's got wind, and that's done for Rome. Here we have the Mythos deck. We will set that up later. But this is Should Mel. Let's have a little look at him. Isn't he nice? So he is the guy we've got to keep asleep. That is Should Mel. Let's put him over here. All of his encounters and research cards and all the rest of it, they're all over here at the side. All pre-shuffled. We don't need to go through all that again. Right, so that's Should Mel. We've got to create the monster cup. Here's the monster cup. It's got all our monsters in. A shake. We'll do our usual when we pull monsters out and what have you. And, you know, get really in there and really pull it out from the back. Top banana. So that's over there. We haven't got any epics as yet, but as you know, mysteries and what have you, we will probably end up with 1 or 2. Chthonians, all sorts of stuff. Anything that lurks beneath the crust of the earth is doubtless waiting to come out and eat us. Right, so that is it for the Monster Cup. Got to separate and place all the decks. I've done that. They're all over here. It's the usual separating into, you know, location decks, separating all the conditions, all that sort of palaver. Done that. We've got the Ancient One specific cards, the research cards, all that sort of stuff, the mysteries, all done. Then we've got to shuffle the Expedition Encounter. Here's the Expedition Encounters. Again, I've took out all the ones, you know, that aren't, you know, that we're not going to run into. So we'll give it a quick shuffle. And we'll give it a cut, and that is where our expedition will be. So there we go, quick shuffle and a quick cut. Where we're going to? The pyramids is where we're going to. So put that over there. Here is our expedition encounter. We'll get rid of those and these. We'll put those over with Should Mel, may as well. Put them in his card holder. Right, so that is where our expedition is, at the pyramids. Okie dokie. I've already shuffled the spell cards and the condition cards, and we've got to set the Mythos cards aside for step 8. We've done that, they're all up there. Now we build the Mythos deck. So I was a bit precipitate in moving Should Mel over here because I can't remember what his setup is. Here we go. Yes, real laugh is we don't get any green cards at all in stage 1. We just get 2 of the rumours and we get 2 sort of reckonings. So we've got 2 reckonings and 2 rumours in the first 4 turns. Won't that be fun? So what we'll do is, this is the green deck. It's already been shuffled, but I'll shuffle it again and we'll do a cut. So stage 1, 2 green, yellow deck. Oh no, what am I talking about? We don't. It's the yellow deck, 1, 2. These green ones can go back in because it's the first stage. It's the blue ones we want 2 of. So I nearly made a mess of that, but I caught it. Right. So here we go, 2. Right, so what we do is let's give these a proper move around. So there we go. Where they go, nobody knows. Woo! Right, that'll do. So that's stage 1. Stage 2 is 4. So we had 2, didn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 green and we've got 2 yellow. Let's give these a shuffle. Okie dokie. Right, there we go. And let's give them a good old mix up. And a cut for good measure. So that is stage 2. We put them under stage 1. And finally we have 2 green and 4 yellow. We've got a hell of a lot of reckonings. That is going to be bad. 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow and 1, 2 green. There we go. Mix them up again. And a cut. And these go on the bottom. That is our Mythos deck. Dun, dun, dun. And we'll put this over here. And we can get rid of all these. Pop these out of the way. So we now have our Mythos deck. Next, we've got to resolve any starting effects. So, the reference card, we've got 4 investigators, so we need to draw a gate. Remember, with this prelude, we can decide to get rid of this gate, or we all get a talent condition. So, here is the gate. It is Antarctica. I'm going to put it out because myself and my fellow players, before we start next turn, can decide whether we're going to get rid of the gate or not. Right, so there is the gate. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to draw the monster yet, because I think we've got to really make the choice without the monster. Are we going to get rid of Antarctica gate? If we're not getting rid of it, then I'll draw the monster. If we are getting rid of it, then yeah, then we'll get rid of it and not pull out the monster. I think that is a fairer way of doing it. So, Doug, Stosha, Lawrence, do you want to keep Antarctica? If you decide to keep Antarctica, I will draw a monster for it next turn. But as it stands, we've got Antarctica. Your choice is you get rid of the Antarctica gate, or everybody takes a talent condition. Personally, I'd probably take the talent condition, that's my vote, but whatever you guys want to do. So bear that in mind, everybody. If we decide to keep Antarctica, I will be pulling a monster for Antarctica. I haven't done so now because say we get a really nasty one and then everyone says, oh right, we'll get rid of Antarctica. No, we're going to play it hard style, baby. So we either get rid of Antarctica, keep the talent conditions, or we knock back the talent conditions and what is it? No, did it the wrong way round. If we get rid of Antarctica, we get talent condition. We don't get talent conditions. Get it right, man. If we keep Antarctica, we can all have a talent condition. That's correct. If we get rid of Antarctica, we cannot have a talent condition. There we go. Okay, got it right. So that is our decision for next turn. Do we keep or do we get rid? Right, put that there. What else have we got to do? We have got to put out 2 clues. So, in fact, we should... 2 of our investigators get a clue. And because they should pick a clue, before this actual part of the setup. I'm going to take their 2 out now. So this first one is for Ashcan Pete. So that's his clue. It's going over here. And the second one is for, I believe it's Bob Jenkins. He gets one as well. So he gets a clue. As I say, you are supposed to set up the investigators before we set up the clues on the board. So we've done that. Next is our first of our 2 clues. It is going to the underworld. No, it isn't. I thought I'd separated these out. That's a rogue one. Must have got in. Next one. Space 13. That is fine. That's up here. Oh, that's not far from Ashcan. And the next one is Space 4. The Canadian Wilderness. I will go through these again. I do keep them separate normally, but it must have snuck under the dividers in the Plano box. Okay, so we've got those 2. I'll just check that Pete's is a legal clue and Bob has a legal clue as well, so we're fine. We do not have too many clues. I'll go through the rest of the bag, but I think that'd be probably the only one. Okay, so we've done that. Is there anything else to set up? No, all the rest is just about monster surges and what have you. So we can move on from that. We place the Doom token on 15. We place the Omen track token on the Green Comet, which it is. It's up there. We've got to place the top 4 cards of the asset deck face up in the 4 slots of the reserve, which are down here. Here is the asset deck. It is now huge and unwieldy. I've already took out the assets that belong to the investigators, so we don't have to worry about that. A rubbish shuffle. A cut. And let's hope we get some good stuff. Let's put it down there. Our first asset is Otherworld Codex. Haven't had this one before. Cost of 2. Item Tome. Gain +1 law and +1 will. This is good. Play with the top gate in the gate stack revealed. This is good. It's a Dreamlands one, but that is a good one. We'll always know what the top gate is. Excellent. Next one is the King James Bible. We've had this a million times. Cost of 2. Item Tome. You may re-roll 1 die when resolving a will test during a combat encounter. When you perform a rest action, recover 1 additional sanity. This is a good card. It's well worth 2. And next up, we have Cat Burglar, which I believe is rubbish. Cost of 1. Ally. Action. Roll 1 die. On a 5 or 6, gain 1 item or trinket asset from the reserve. On a 1, discard this card. I think we will work on discarding that card anyway. It's not too good. And our final one is Personal Assistant's good though. 2, Personal Assistant. And you'll see this is definitely a card for Bob. You will see this later on when we go through Bob. Ally. Gain +1 influence. You may re-roll 1 die when resolving an influence test. This is a great card for Bob. Let's put that there. So apart from Cat Burglar, we've done pretty well there. I'm well pleased with those. Let's put the stack back, which is over here. That is rather an excellent draw, I think, on the assets. Let's get rid of Shoed. Shoed can go over there with all his cards and stuff. Right, so we've done that. What else is there to do? We spawn the gates. We place the active expedition token. We spawn the number of clues. Ah, the mystery card. Everybody loves a mystery card. Let's grab the mysteries and we will have a look. Here they all are. So these are all for Shoot 'em out. We'll do that. We'll do a cut. Whoop. Right, and this is our first mystery. I'll put it down. put the rest over here. Let's see what our first mystery is. Bringer of Ruin. This doesn't look like a good start. Every 23 years, the great worm Shud Mel returns to the lost city of Gahan to commune with his children, stirring them into a frenzy and inciting them to bring ruin to the civilized cities above. After an investigator resolves a research encounter, he may spend one clue he gained from that encounter and place that clue on this card. At the end of the Mythos phase, if there are clues on this card equal to the number of investigators solved this mystery. So we need 4 clue tokens on this card. And we have to get the clue tokens through research encounters. We have only got 2 clues on the board where we can have a research encounter. Fortunately, one of them is right next to Ashcan Pete. But the other one is in the Americas. It's in northern Canada, and we have got no investigators in the Americas whatsoever. So, but we do have Bob in London. He can generate clues from London. So again, hopefully we'll be able to do this pretty quickly. We will need to do it pretty quickly as well. So we've just got to hope that London doesn't get devastated at some point. Right, so Bringer of Ruin. That is our mystery. Is that it for various setup-y bits? I rather think it is. So that means we can have a good look at all our investigators. So no particular order. We've still got to pick who's going to go first, second, third and fourth. Again, we will do that by the time we come to turn 1. So by turn 1, we will have our investigator order. And we'll have also decided about Antarctica Gate. Do we keep it or do we take talent conditions? What do we do? Yeah. So that's it for the setup. Remember, Rome is devastated. Remember, we've got all these extra Eldritch tokens on the Doom track. When we hit those, we have to discard them and we draw a disaster card. So we're going to have tons of fun, aren't we? Okay, let's go and meet Ashcan Pete. And here we are with Pete. So let's have a quick look at Ashcan Pete. There he is, strumming his guitar. Doesn't look like Scandinavia to me, but there you go. Ashcan Pete, the Drifter. Special actions. He can move 1 space along a train path, then perform 1 additional action. Quite right, he's a drifter. After you perform an acquire assets action, you may gain 1 item or trinket asset with a value less than your observation from the discard pile. So we're going to have to keep an eye on the discard pile. Doesn't have to be the top of the discard pile. We can whiz through the discard pile. There may be dangers out there, but some souls just have to roam. So he's got 7 stamina, which is good, and 5 sanity. So not too bad. We've already seen his picture. His law is 3, which is good. His influence is 1, which is appalling. He's got an observation of 3, so remember, it'll be items or trinkets less than 3, unless, of course, he gets, you know, an impairment or he gets to, like, bump that up. His strength is 3, which is good, and his will is 3, which is good. So apart from his influence, which you'd expect, he's a bum, he is in pretty good shape. So that's Ashcan. Let's flip him over. So he starts in Scandinavia on space 14. We've put him there. He gets the Duke unique asset and 1 clue. We'll have a look at those shortly. Let's read his background. Ever since the onset of his prophetic dreams, Pete has been riding the rails with his old hound Duke. He has seen the best and worst of the world, and he takes both in stride. Lately, it seems like every city he rolls into is suffering. Sometimes a flood, other times a fire. When he closes his eyes, he can hear every heartbroken soul cry for help. But when he first set foot here in Ulu, he saw a city that rebuilt after the fire. Pete reckons if he can figure out the source of all this carnage, he can help those who need it most. Apologies to anybody who comes from Ulu, and I've said it incorrectly. I nearly said a wahoo. It's certainly not that. We'll do the usual, like if he gets injured or he goes bonkers, that's when we'll read these. So we've got Duke and we've got a clue. So we've got a clue. I did check. We're fine. It's clue 7. So we didn't pick one from a board that we shouldn't have picked it from. And we have Duke, his faithful hound, who's a unique asset. Oh, there we go. We want him on the right side. Into your darling. Ally. Once per round, you may re-roll 1 die when resolving a test. So that's pretty good. When you perform a rest action, you recover an additional sanity. So, good old Duke. That is him, and that is Ashcan Pete. Next up, we shall have a look at Dr. Vincent Lee. And here we are with Vincent Lee. So let's have a look at him. So, I don't know whether it's just me, but he looks a bit like Stephen King, a young Stephen King to me. But enough of that. Vincent Lee, the Doctor. So, special actions and abilities. As an action, you or another investigator on your space may discard 1 injury or illness condition. That's good. And or perform a rest action. When you or another investigator on your space performs a rest action, that investigator may recover 1 additional health. So, pretty good, Vincent. I will find the answers, even if it kills me. Steady on, son. So, he's got 6 stamina and 6 sanity, so that's pretty good. His law is 1, which is appalling. Influence 3, pretty good. Observation 3, pretty good. Strength 2, that's okay. And Will 4, immense. Brilliant. So that is Vincent, looking good in his yellow shirt. Let's flick him over. So he starts in Bombay, space 17. And he gets a bandages asset and a composed condition. I've dug the bandages out, and I've also got the condition deck, and we'll get his composed condition very shortly. Let's read his background. After the 3rd or 4th mutilated body showed up during his time at St Mary's Hospital in Arkham, Vincent Lee began to suspect that this was no simple case of wild animal attacks. When a young man died screaming in his sleep from a burst heart, Vincent knew for a fact that dark times were ahead. Taking a leave of absence from his position at the hospital, he has set out to ease the suffering of those afflicted by the spreading chaos, hoping that the trail of bodies will lead him to the answers he craves. Good old Vincent. Right, as usual, we're not going to read the getting injured or going nuts. We will save that for such time as it happens. Let's have a look at this bandages asset and get him a composed condition. So bandages, here it is. We've seen this before, I think. It's only a cost of 1, but it's an item. You may discard this card to prevent an investigator on your space from losing up to 2 health. We may need that when, shoot Mel, and when we get reckonings, you're losing stuff like 2 health or 2 sanity or 1 of each. Obviously, you can choose to lose 2 health and then stop it with the bandages, so that hopefully it will come in useful. And he needs a composed condition. So my sort of talents are in with boons. The reason they are in with boons, which are, things like blessed and righteous and stuff like that, is because some of these talents are also boons, which means I get a nice big unruly deck to shuffle in a rubbish manner. Right, we'll do that. First composed we come across, that's attuned, that's moxie, rugged, practiced, blessed, composed. Awesome. So that's the one he's got. I can get rid of this now. And that is Vincent Lee. After Vincent Lee, we have Lily Chen. And here we are with Lily Chen. So let's take a look at Lily. Isn't she lovely? She's not messing. Look at that. She's going to take somebody on. Lily Chen, the martial artist. So special abilities and actions. Spend any number of health or sanity as an action, then recover an equal number of health and sanity. So very similar to Arkham Horror character. When you improve a skill, you may immediately improve that skill again. Awesome. I've been preparing to confront this evil for my entire life. My focus must be absolute. So she's got 6 stamina and 6 sanity. Don't worry about the tokens. I know they're not here. I do put them on. Don't worry about it. So you're not going like with no sanity and no stamina. I do put them on later. As for her abilities, Law is 2, okay. Influence is 2, okay. Observation 2, okay. But her Strength is 4 and her Will is 3. She is a groin puncher, is Lily Chen. She is not messing around. She is punching stuff very, very hard. So that's Lily. Let's flick her over. She starts in Shanghai, China. And she starts with a protective amulet asset and a lucky rabbit's foot asset. I've dug those out. We'll have a look at those shortly. Let's read her background. Lily speaks rarely, and when she does, her words are measured and wise. After a lifetime of disciplined training, every gesture is graceful, uncluttered by hesitation. When she was an infant, an obscure sect of monks believed that she was born for a special purpose, to face a great evil. Now the monks believe that great evil is at hand, and they have brought Lily to Shanghai to begin fulfilling her destiny. Awesome. So that is Lily. Again, getting injured, going nuts. We'll read that when it happens. So that's Lily. Let's have a look at her assets. So first up is a lucky rabbit's foot. It's a trinket. Once per round, you may re-roll 1 die when resolving a test. So hopefully this will come in. Just the sort of thing you want in a game of Eldritch Horror. Protective amulet, 1 cost. Little elder sign amulet, very nice. Item, gain +1 will during combat encounters. So a will's already pretty good at 3. It will be 4 when she's punching monsters in the face. So awesome. So those are her assets, and that is Lily Chen. Our final investigator is Bob Jenkins. And here we are with Bob, who's my investigator. So let's have a look at Bob, having a nice brandy or a bourbon or something there, looking very smug and very pleased with himself. So Bob Jenkins, the salesman. Action. You may trade any number of items or trinket possessions with another investigator on any space. So you can do that as his special action. A special ability is when you perform an acquire assets action, reduce the value of each card in the reserve by 1 to a minimum of 1. This is why that personal assistant would be brilliant. Reality is just a matter of negotiation. Woohoo! And he has 7 stamina and 5 sanity, so that's pretty good. As far as his abilities go, his skills, Law is 2, that's okay. Influence 4 is brilliant. Observation 2 is okay, Strength 3 is very good, and Will 2 is okay. Brilliant, good old Bob. Right, where's Bob start? He starts in London, the United Kingdom. Brilliant. And he has a Winchester rifle asset and a single clue. Again, the clue's fine. I think it's Buenos Aires, is it? Yeah, so that's cool, he can have that. We will look at the Winchester rifle in a moment. Let's have a look at his background. According to Bob, the secret to success as a salesman is persistence. People just need to be told what it is they want, repeatedly. Recently, Bob came into possession of a handful of unusual golden coins, and Bob hopes that the same persistence he so famously advocates will help him to uncover their origin and purpose. His subsequent research taught him that the coins are rare and valuable, but also that some sort of curse is attached to them. Collectors refuse to touch them, but Bob is sold. He wants to know more. Good old Bob. So, again, injury and going insane. We'll leave that till such time as it may happen. Let's flip him back over and let's have a look at his Winchester rifle. Dun, dun, dun. So it's a cost of 2. Item weapon. Once per round, you may gain +4 combat during a combat encounter. Brilliant. But only once per round. Yeah, only once. So if he's like mobbed by a load of monsters, he'll be in a bit of trouble. But the Winchester rifle is still pretty good. We'll take that rather than the slap across the belly with a wet kipper. That will do us. Right, so that is Bob. That is all our investigators. Woohoo! Let's just go back to the board and have a quick recap. And here we are back at the board. So, quick recap. We've got Ashcan Pete in Scandinavia. We have Vincent Lee, he's in Bombay. We've got Lily Chen, who is in Shanghai. And we've got Bob, who is in London. We've got a couple of clues, one on space 13, one on space 4. We have a possible gate at Antarctica that we could get rid of with the prelude. But if we get rid of it, we can't pick any talents. If we keep it, we have to draw a monster, and then we can all draw talents each. We will sort that out for next turn. So we'll do that at the start of next turn, depending on what the other players want to do. What else is there? Oh yes, we've got the Otherworld Codex, the King James Bible, the Cat Burglar and the Personal Assistant. They are all in the asset reserve. Shudmel is our ancient one, he's over there, and that is a Doom track at 15. We also have at 14, 11, 8, 5 and 2 Eldritch tokens. Once we hit those Eldritch tokens, we discard them and we pull a disaster. Rome has been devastated. It is no longer a city space. It is a devastated space. It's still Rome, but you can't have a Rome encounter because Rome isn't there anymore. It's been destroyed. And you can't have a city encounter because it's no longer a city. It's been leveled to the ground. But, you know, if a game effect was to say, go to Rome or something like that, then you go there because it's still a named space, but you will not interact with it as a city space. We've got the expedition at the pyramids. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Oh, our mystery is Bringer of Ruin. So, dun, dun, dun. We are all ready to go. Now, I'm going to go away for a couple of weeks. I'm going to sunny Mallorca, where hopefully it's a lot warmer than here. But I want to set all this up ready for when I come back, and then we can get straight into it. As I say, we've just got some things to decide about the Investigator order and whether we're going to keep Antarctica Gate or not. But that'll all be sorted out by the time I get back, and at the start of turn 1 we will kick off with whatever we have decided. Is there anything else to go through? Oh yes, one thing, I may as well do it now because it's the start of a playthrough. I'm sorry to keep banging on about it, but if I do it at the start of the playthrough, then everybody understands. I still get people who think that this is a how to play channel. This is not a how to play channel. It is not a review channel. This is not a I get free games to show them channel. It's none of that. This is a like balding, fat, middle-aged Mancunian having a laugh playing a board game channel. I do try and get the rules right, but you know what? It's a game. If I get the rules wrong and I miss them, well, so what? Who cares? When you play your games, you know what? Especially Eldritch Horror, Arkham Horror, whatever you're playing, if you get a rule wrong, don't worry about it. It's a game. It doesn't matter. You know, it's no big thing. Get it right next time. That's what I try and do. Yeah, so don't sweat it. Yeah, these games are quite complicated. It's easy to forget stuff, and if you do, like I say, don't worry about it. I don't worry about it. I just tell people who give me a hard time, like, to, you know, go to another channel. All I do is play games for laughs. So me, Doug, Stosha, Lawrence, we're just having a laugh, baby. We'll try and get it right. And if we make any errors that we're aware of, then I will, of course, like, try and correct them. But please, do not watch this channel if you're after how to play a game, because I will make mistakes. And as I say, if you come on giving me a hard time about it, then you may well get told to get stuffed. And I've had a few people who don't like that, but I don't care, basically. I don't have any adverts, I don't make any money, I'm just having a laugh, man. And it gets me down when people give me a hard time. Hence, I get a little short with them and tell them where to go. But if you have been one of those people, don't take it to heart. It's just that I'm here to have fun. You'd have a point if I was making oodles of money out of the channel, or I was getting loads of free games, or anything like that, but I'm not. I think it's pretty obvious that I just play the game to have fun. And if you guys are along for the ride, and are not too, you know, hassled about me messing up now and again, then brilliant, we'll have a laugh. But please, if you've join the channel or subscribed because you want somebody who's going to teach you how to play properly or anything like that, you may want to unsubscribe now, just to let you know. But other than that, if you're not really bothered and you're here for a laugh, then woo, let's go, baby. Right, so that's that out of the way. I won't bang on about it again, just because it's the first episode pretty much, so anybody joining right now at least understands the way the channel operates. Okay, so that is it for the introduction and setup of Eldritch Horror Cities in Ruin. Woo-doo-doo. As I say, it won't be starting for 2 weeks, you see. See, this channel isn't professional at all. I just like do it when I want. I don't care, I just do it when I want, man. It's just free and easy. So I'm going to go away for 2 weeks and leave you in the lurch before we actually start turn 1. But I do hope you join me for turn 1 because it'd be a lot of fun when I come back and I've forgotten all the rules because I've been in Spain for 2 weeks. But at least I'll have nice tanned hands. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Talking of mistakes, if I've made one during setup, please let me know and I will try and fix it when I come back from Spain. But as I say, we've still got a few things to decide, like turn order for each investigator and whether we're going to keep the Antarctica gate or not. But as I say, that'll all be sorted out by the start of turn 1 in a couple of weeks' time, when I hope you join me. So thank you for watching. Thanks so much for all the likes. Thank you for all the dislikes. Thank you for all the help and support. And thank you all just for watching, even if you're switching right off now because you wanted a how to play channel. Watch It Played, he's good. Yeah, Rodney, check Rodney out. Also, all the guys down the side here, there's a lot of tube tablers. I'm part of a guild, tube tablers. Lots of them are a lot more professional than I am. I just dick around, man. These people down here, Doug who's playing the game, he's great. Watch his channel, you'll learn loads. But yes, if you're just along for the crack though, welcome. This channel welcomes you. Right, so is there anything else to mention? No, I think I've whittled on enough. So, I shall see you for turn 1 in a couple of weeks' time. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.